thank you so much for joining me today. So today we're going to work on neck and shoulder strengthening and mobility. So we're going to be using a ball, and instead of a ball, if you don't have one, you could use a cushion or a squishmallow. So those are really handy to have. And later on, we're also going to be using either a belt or a towel or something stretchy. So it doesn't need to be stretchy, it could be tights, it could be a dressing gown cord, just something that's quite long. Okay? Right, so to start with, we're going to start with our alignment. So bringing your bottom to the front of the chair. That's it, and sitting tall. And we're going to very gently tilt the pubic bone towards the nose and pubic bone down towards the toes. So just starting to move the lower part of your spine and your hips and your pelvis. And while you're doing this, taking some nice slow breaths. And while you're doing this also, you could pay attention to what your feet are doing. Are they facing forward? Do you maybe need to make adjustments to your feet? Are the heels or the ankles underneath your knees? Are your knees facing forwards? And then bring yourself to the centre, so somewhere between the two extremes, and circle the shoulders. So nice and smooth and gentle. That's it. While you're doing this, you're breathing deeply. That's it. And then relax your arms and look up to the sky on one side, making sure you're not hanging your head backwards. Breathing in. And exhale, semicircle your chin down towards your chest and up to the other side. And breathe in at the top and exhale. So nice deep breaths. And while you're doing this, your shoulders are still and relaxed. So you're not forcing them away from your ears, you're just keeping them just gently relaxed. And then bringing your head back towards me, we're going to put our fingers or thumbs on shoulders. And still keeping the shoulders gently relaxed, we're going to dip the chin down towards the chest, making sure you're not hyperextending. So do leave a little bit of room between your chin and your chest. Don't force this one. That's it. And then extend the chin to the sky, still trying to keep the back of your neck nice and long as you extend upwards. So gentle dip. That's it. And then coming back, and we're going to bring an ear towards the shoulder. That's it, and return. Now with this one, once again, I also want you to think about how far you're going. So if you are hypermobile, just being aware of your range of movement, not resting your ear on your shoulder. That's it. And also trying to keep the shoulders still. So often I see people doing this or doing this. And then we're going to tilt the chin towards the shoulder but not beyond. And checking in with yourself to check you're still breathing as you're doing this. Quite often when we're concentrating, we forget. That's it. It's nice and gentle. And coming back to the centre and creating a tiny circle with your nose, like a 5p piece. That's it. I'm probably a bit big for a 5p. There we go. smaller and smaller. And let's go the other way as well. And then coming back. And a bit of chicken neck for you. So we're going to stick the chins out and then draw the chins back, and give me your best double chins when you do this one. That's it. So draw the chins out and draw them back. So to do this one, what you can do if you want to as well, is you could bring your fingertips to the back of your head and lightly, very lightly, press the head back into the fingertips. So today, I want you to think about a feather, and everything is going to be feather touch. So light as a feather, so nothing too extreme. So we're doing lots and lots on our necks. And if you do this too hard, then you're going to suffer, and I don't want you to. So I just want you to work on the strengthening of your neck, but in a very, very super gentle way. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab hold of your ball or your squishmallow or your cushion, and we're going to start with putting the item, so we'll call it a ball because I'm holding a ball, on your forehead, and then we're going to very lightly press upwards into the ball and then return. Now, I'm barely squishing the ball at all, so I want you to think of this item as being extremely gentle, maybe like a balloon, as you gently push into it and return. And if I go sideways, you'll barely see me moving at all as I lightly push and return. It's the tiniest, tiniest little move into the ball and return. And of course you can do this without the ball as well, a teeny tiny reach and then return. Now that's quite a lot. I know you're doing it super, super soft, but you only need to do a couple and then it's plenty, because we've got lots more to do with the neck and shoulders as well. So in time you might want to, if neck and shoulders are something that you want to work on, you might want to pause each move and do a couple more, but for now just stick with just a couple, so you're not forcing anything, because some of these, we're working the very, very deeper muscles in the neck, the supporting muscles, and some of these muscles you may never have really used much before, so we just want to be nice to them. Okay, so the next one is we're going to bring the ball to kind of the temple area and very lightly rotate down into the ball and then return. So making sure the shoulder is down, that you're not suddenly doing this, as you gently rotate down into the ball and then return. Now I'm keeping my finger on my chin to remind me not to do this, so we're doing a rotation for this one first of all. That's it. It's very gently rotate and then return, and once again you'll see I'm not doing too many. And then we're going to put the hand on the other side of the ball and then press up into the ball and release. So I did that it was quite a big move, so just see if you can make it smaller as you do this one. If you're feeling yucky because your hand is up in the air, do feel free to do this without the ball as well, so you can keep your arms down. So sometimes people with MCAS or POTS really struggle with hands up in the air, so you don't need to put your hands up. That's it. And then we're going to swap sides. So ball to temple, finger maybe on chin if you want, and lightly rotating that way down into the ball, but much, much smaller than I just did. So teeny tiny, light as a feather. That's it. And then moving the ball up a touch and pressing that way into the ball and releasing. Still trying to keep the shoulder down as you lightly press up. That's it. Double checking you're still breathing at the same time. And then take a moment to relax. So you might want to have a little wiggle, you might want to move your head. Okay, so slightly different again. This time the ball is going to go here. That's it. And we're going to move the head down, and then imagine you're trying to tip the head into the ball. So very light tip and then return. That's it. And you'll notice the muscles change slightly to a little bit further back. That's it, as you gently tip. That's it. And then bring the ball to the temple, and you're going to want to rotate into the ball and return. So tiny little rotation and return. And all of these moves can be done without the ball, remember? So if it's getting a bit much, then feel free, so rotating into the ball and returning, so kind of tipping like that, but much smaller. Yeah, all of these moves can be done without the ball and you will still feel your muscles working. So once again, only 2 or 3 of each move. That's it. So you turn the head now into the ball and return. That's it, small moves. And then that's it. So that's it with the ball. So put your balls down for now. And because we've been really working our neck now and our shoulders, let's stretch it out a little bit. So we're going to go back into the chicken neck. So drawing the chin forward and sliding it back. So imagine there's a shelf in front of you, so the chin goes directly up, directly across the shelf as opposed to up, and slide it back. Breathing as you do this. That's it. And sitting tall again. And an option, if you want to, is put your hands on your shoulders, or you could bring your hands down like this, or you could still keep them rested. So we're going to look up towards one top corner of the room, still keeping the back of your neck long, and then down towards the hand. So looking up and coming back down. So your shoulders are relaxed as you do this. And then swap sides. So you're going to look down towards the hands and then up towards the corner and back down again. So up towards the corner and down. And take a gentle wiggle, and then we're going to slide the shoulders up towards the ears, breathing in, and exhale, slide them down your chest. pull down your back. Breathing in and exhale. So we're trying not to drop them, we're trying to do this really smoothly and gently as you breathe in. And then relax. Okay, so now I would like you to grab hold of your towel or your belt or your dressing gown cord, whatever you have got available to you. Okay, so we've got our items, whatever you have got. So for today, I'm going to call this a towel. Okay, so we're going to gently bring the towel in front of us and quite low. Now, when people often use bands and belts and things, they tend to hyperextend the elbows. So I'd like you to focus on keeping your elbows quite soft as you do this. And another thing I notice is people rounding the shoulders or lifting them up. So if you could keep them away from your ears and your chest nice and open, but without your spine arching, that would be gorgeous. So the towel is down and we're going to very gently pull on this towel. So you're going to pull outwards on the towel as you do this, and notice the muscles that are activating as you do this. So you may feel them around your back and your shoulder blades and your arms. That's it. So you're nice and tall as you do this. So you're keeping your chest open, you're pulling the towel taut and release. In terms of the wrists, I often see people kind of doing this, or this, or this, or this. So see if you can try and keep the wrists quite straight as you do this, and then your forearms will also start to get some action and you won't be straining the wrists. So gently pulling and release. And then we're going to do the same, but with the towel in front as we gently pull and release. So your shoulders are down as you're lightly pulling and releasing. That's it. Nice and gentle. And one more like this. And then to the height that's available to you. So not above your head, but in a diagonal. Shoulders are down. So try and keep the stress and tension out of your shoulders and make sure your neck is still on top of your shoulders. You haven't suddenly done this. As you do the same, you gently pull on the towel and release. So pulling and releasing. That's it. Well done. And then take a moment to relax. Okay, so this time we're going to do the same, exactly the same, but with our palms upwards. So reaching the towel forward, keeping the elbows soft and pulling on that towel. I keep calling it a towel for your sake because that's more than likely what you've got. There we go. But you may have a belt. So just use your imagination with whatever you've got as you're lightly pulling on it and releasing it. So keeping it small and light. That's it. And then halfway, that's it. You'll notice as it goes up, it's a little bit harder. So remembering you do need to take this easy. We're trying to work underneath our threshold. So if this is a lot, you could do a small part of this class and come back to it later. That's it. And a little bit here, just a tiny bit. That's it. Notice my elbows are still really soft as I'm doing this. That's it. And then, release. Okay. So I really felt that, and I'm obviously teaching a lot of classes, so hopefully you are taking this easy if you need to. The next one we're going to do is bring the towel halfway and draw the elbows down. So hip width apart or slightly wider as you push forward and draw the elbows down. That's it, with your palms upwards to start with. Nice deep breaths. One more. And then do it with the hands the other way, so the hands downwards, pushing out and drawing back. So having a little bit of tautness on the towel, but not too much, otherwise you're going to tire really quickly and easily as you push and return. That's it. And then take a moment to relax. That's it. We're doing lots of time to stretch things out so the muscles don't get too tight. Then we're going to draw the towel in front and draw the elbows back, squeezing the shoulder blades gently and returning. That's it. So lots and lots of shoulder strengthening as we do this. And then take a moment to rest. Okay, so I'm going to move more into a bit of shoulder mobility this time. So we're going to keep the towel quite low and we're going to gently move from one side to the other. That's it. You hold on to the belt end. That's it, nice and gentle. Keeping it low to start with and then gently bringing it across here. Try not to lock your elbows out. That's it. And then up and over. So while you're doing this, you're keeping your neck long and strong. So then we're going to gently go down. That's it. And then take a rest. Bringing the towel behind your back. That's it. Arms fairly wide. I don't want them too close together or you might be hyperextending your elbows and shoulders. So here, going to keep the shoulders low and gently reach back and return. It's a small amount of reaching and returning. So you could be hinging forward here if you want to, if you need to, but try not to curve the spine. So keep the spine long and strong again. That's it. And then if you want more, this is a bit harsh, but if you want some more, you could pulse it back a bit. That's it, just make sure you're breathing and make sure you're listening to your body. So if you're getting any reactions at all to this move, then feel free to rest and sit back and take a break. That's it. The next one we're going to do is zigzagging behind. So like we did before, but we're not going to go up with this one. We're going to keep it low as we zigzag from side to side. Okay, and then move your arms slightly wider on the towel. Do take a break if you need to, and pull outwards and return. So a gentle pull outwards on the towel, not necessarily upwards, but outwards and return. Cool, I'm really getting a shoulder workout with this one. So I hope you're feeling it, but not too much, and you're not putting yourself through too much for this class. And one more. And release. Okay, so roll those shoulders. Okay, so this time, towel in front, and we're going to very gently hinge back, so keeping the spine nice and long as you hinge and return. So your head is staying on top of your shoulders as you come back. You don't want to do this, you want to keep it in a nice long line as you hinge and return. So you could breathe in here and exhale. Just watch those shoulders, check that they're away from your ears as you're doing this one. That's it. And then bringing the arms above the head and a very small side bend and return. If that doesn't work for you, you can keep the arms low or even lower here as you gently side bend and return. So just make sure you're listening to your body. That's it, shoulders are relaxed. And then return. And a very gentle circle around. That's it. Do remember to take breaks if you need to. The good thing about recordings is you can pause this whenever you want. Let's go the other way. Well done. Okay, you are done with your towel or belt. That's it. Okay, so with the hands, we're going to gently move them. They might be a bit hot now after holding on to the towel for so long. That's it. And then putting the hands on the shoulders and circle and circle. That's it. And circle the shoulders like this as well. And then we're going to dangle the arms. So we're going to open the legs a bit wider. That's it. And bring yourself forward, remembering to lift the tummy up. And circle the arms here. And circle the other way as well. And then putting your hands on your thighs and gently moving into a gentle cat and cow. Well done. And then bring the legs closer together as we do a couple of roll downs. We can ease out our spine as we breathe in. Exhale, press the hands down past your chest. Open up the chest, breathing in. And exhale, peel your way down, remembering to keep your hands on your thighs if you need to look after your spine. Taking a breath at the bottom. Exhale, scoop the belly as you roll your way back up. That's it. And one more, breathing in. Exhale. That's it. Open up the chest, breathing in. And exhale, peel your way down. Roll your way back up. And this time we're going to reach the hands to the height that's available to us. Exhale, press the hands down past your chest, and we'll close the session in gratitude of the tiny little muscles in our necks and the strength in our shoulders. Well done, everyone. I will see you very soon.